back to The Person Everyone Needs. I'm your host, Webb Hoggard, and I'm continuing my conversation with what I would say to a 10-year-old. If I could go back and talk to my 10-year-old self, this is something that I would say to them. And one of the things is that just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's bad, and you probably should go ahead and figure out how to handle it. That's not the small way to say it. What I would actually say to you if I was sitting across the table is that your health, your wealth are all in your hands. Everything you want to accomplish in this world is in your hands right now. The greatest amount of potential in your life is up to you. Your willingness to get over what you're uncomfortable with what you don't like. Most of your life will be dealing with things that you actually don't like. What you can figure out is how to make it joyful. You can enjoy things that you don't like. I'm someone, when I was growing up, I never liked green beans when my mom would make it and she'd like eat something green. Now, I've always liked broccoli, covered in smothered in cheese, but, I've always liked broccoli. I've liked broccoli in casseroles. I like broccoli just about any way I've ever had it. So what I found out in my life was that there are things that you can actually take joy in that are good for you, and those things that are not, you need to probably discipline yourself to start diversifying your tastes. I remember a few years ago, I went to Israel, and basically I had to eat, to survive while I was there. And the things that I had to eat are not things that I like to eat, but it actually changed some of my tastes and it helped me out to get better off. I guess the reason, this is in my mind is when I was growing up, I thought, I would say this all the time, like, I don't like water. I don't like the taste of water. What I guess I really meant was that I like Pepsi more. I like Mountain Dew more. But the truth was, I would never choose water, and it was never made for me to choose, that's not anybody else's fault but mine. But now, today, I'd prefer water over any other drink, and I wish I had started that earlier, especially with the health issues that I have today. Those things could be headed off if I would have made some better choices. If I would have chose broccoli more than cheeseburgers, even though cheeseburgers, hey, there's no debate about it. I mean, cheeseburgers are better. There's a pickle on it, right? There's some green. I'm just kidding. But what the point is that there are decisions that I made when I was younger that have made things more difficult. And if at 10 years old, I would have woke up. By the way, at 10 years old, I was a small kid. I was a little pudgy, or I think my grandmother used to call me chubby, she would say. And it was a few years after that I went on a diet. And then after the diet, man, I really lost all control over that part of my life. But that was my decisions. And I'll be honest with you, I had all the excuses. I blamed my family. My family at the time owned a diner. And so I had free food anytime I wanted to. I had free fountain drinks anytime I wanted to. Then I got my first job, and I remember on Saturdays I found a way to save money. Was instead of when I got thirsty going and buying a drink, I just decided when I'd go into work on Saturday morning, I'd buy myself a 2-liter Mountain Dew. That way I would be saving money. And then I drank a 2-liter Mountain Dew. Let me tell you, no human should consume an entire 2-liter Mountain Dew in a week. So but I would do that every single Saturday because I was walking the whole time, right? I'm doing exercise, so I'm burning it off. There's no way in a day to burn off the amount of sugar that's in a 2-liter Mountain Dew. I had no idea what I was doing to myself. I hadn't educated myself. I didn't realize that the decisions I was making then would carry into my adulthood, and it's not like I'm debilitated today. I still have the ability, and I better get on it now because it'll be 10 years from now, and I'll be still talking about this issue in my life. But if I could go back to my 10-year-old self, I would say, hey, all it takes is small steps to make a better difference. The next time you have an opportunity for soda, choose water. That one decision every single day could change everything. I'm not saying never have a soda, but instead of having 3 sodas a day, or what I was having at that point was 4 sodas, there were many times that I would have 2 at lunch and 2 at dinner, and I just thought it was normal. And I wish that I could recalibrate what was normal for me back then. So I'm telling you, my 10-year-old self, a small change right now in your life could fix your future. I said health, but also your wealth. A small change could fix your future. How about the next time that you're on YouTube or kids' YouTube or whatever it is that you watch your little, droning videos, what if every third video you decided to watch something educational? And I don't mean boring. There's a lot of fantastic information out there Now, people like Dave Ramsey are putting out children's content for people who want to build wealth, and things like Right Now Media. If you'd like to know more about Right Now Media, you can contact me. I'd be more than happy to help you get on that. But there's lots of great kids content. And I know you don't think you're a kid. What I'm saying is content that is aimed at your age group that helps you get better in your future, because that would be better for you than just the droning out. One of the things my 10-year-old son likes to watch these days is like this techno glowing, bouncy, computer-generated bouncy balls all over the screen. And I make fun of him all the time, but I don't mean nothing by it. I love him, and I'm happy that he's enjoying that. But I just wish that every third video or something like that he would throw in like a math education, or how to handle your money, or how to start relationships, or how to learn the Word of God. And so all I'm saying is, I'm not saying to get rid of all the fun things in life. I want you to enjoy it. You will never enjoy things more than you enjoy them right now. Enjoy the daylights out of it, but make a couple of decisions every single day that are going to head you in the right direction. There's a concept that I heard years ago, and it's probably not a good concept. There's two ideas. It's probably not a concept that you'll be interested. I mean, it was called Eat the Frog. So it's like, basically, if there's something bad that you don't want but you know you need, do that first and get it over with. Go ahead and eat the frog. Well, I don't ever want to eat a frog, so I don't know if that's very vivid for you or not, but I remember when I was growing up, like when my mom would make hot dogs and chili or something like that. That was my favorite meal growing up, was hot dogs and chili. But she'd always ask me to eat like baked beans or green beans or something like that along with it. So what I would do is I would scarf the green beans, like I would eat them quickly, and then I could enjoy the hot dogs and chili and gorge myself on that the rest of the meal. I know what we're worried sometimes about is like, if I taste something gross, then what if that fills me up? But you know yourself, you're not going to be filled up on that anyway. So eat the things that are going to be best for you quickly and first, so that you can get to the things that you'll enjoy. It's the same thing when you grow up a little bit. You'll understand, like, you need to tithe first. The thing that may seem the most nonsensical, go ahead and give the money that is God's first. And then secondly, go ahead and give the money that is to your bills and that kind of thing. All that, go ahead and do that second. And then you have whatever's left over to enjoy. You get all that other stuff out of the way, and then you can enjoy what's left. So I just say to you, like, eat the frog. The other idea I was going to have is, how do you eat an elephant? You eat them one bite at a time. So you have a huge future ahead of you. You have great things ahead of you. What are some things that you can start doing today that will make it better for you in the future? Now, I'll tell you, you may not believe this, and especially as you go into middle school, you'll make this an excuse, but having a mastery of the English language and knowing how to, like, write is actually one of the most important skills you can have. The second great skill that you need is math. Like, you kind of need to know how to understand math. I know you think right now, like, these things will never be used, but they will. When you get into algebra, you will be training your brain with things that you'll use every single day to your life. And so what you're doing in this season right now is the most important things that you'll need as you get into your adulthood. So focus on what you have. Don't sit around and just, I can't wait till I don't have to do this anymore. No. Give your whole heart to what you're doing, because it's going to be very important for you in the future. I'll tell you this too. If I could go back to my 10-year-old self who barely could read, I would tell him, go ahead and start reading the Bible. I know the argument to you right now is like, I don't understand it. I get confused. What are they saying? I need someone to explain it to me. So ask questions, but go ahead and start reading. Like, there's nothing that could be better for you than reading that Bible, than reading the Word of God. He has a great plan for you. And I want you to know, like, the health, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, and your wealth, you're spending your time wisely, spending your money wisely, and having your possessions, managing them well. All of that comes down to, what are you going to do with what you have? And at 10 years old, it's time to start managing that well. So I encourage you, do something today that will help that future person. If I could go back to my 10-year-old self, and I would say, hey, every third Mountain Dew, drink a water. Every third video game, read a chapter in a book. Just start throwing in small things right now that will help your potential get greater in the future. Don't just wait for your future and think that you're going to be something great then. Start working those things in now. They may not be fun. So I'm not telling you to do them exclusively. I'm just saying, while it's not fun, it's probably the time where it could benefit you the most. Broccoli at 10 years old might do you better than it will ever do you in your life. So go ahead and eat the frog. Do the thing you don't like because it might be the thing you need. Because in the future, we need a healthy, wealthy you. This whole world needs you to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Because if you're healthy, wealthy, and wise, you're probably a person that everyone needs.